Good afternoon, all of you. I am Assistant Professor Kutiyakshara from SND Engineering College and Research Center. Today's topic is Mechanism of Electrochemical Corrosion. Introduction. Corrosion is degradation of materials' properties due to interactions with their environments, and corrosion of most metals is inevitable, like death and taxes. Corrosion is something we hope to avoid, but ultimate is something we must learn to deal with. The fundamental cause or driving force for all corrosion is the lowering of the system's Gibbs energy. Types of electrochemical corrosions: uniform or general corrosion, galvanic or two metal corrosion, thermogalvanic corrosion, crevice corrosion including deposit corrosion, pitting corrosion, intergranule and exfoliation corrosion. Then selective corrosion, erosion corrosion and cavitation corrosion, stress corrosion cracking and corrosion fatigue. First, uniform or general corrosion. General corrosion. In this form of corrosion, the attack is relatively evenly distributed all over the surface. It occurs typically under the following conditions. The material is a metal or alloy that is not liable to form protecting surface films in the environment in question. Electrochemical corrosion is the only deterioration process. The anodic and the cathodic reaction both occur all over the surface but not at the same positions at the same moment. Closely connected to this, that the concentration of the electrolyte does not vary significantly over the metal surface. Second, galvanic corrosion. When a more noble metal or alloy is in metallic contact with a less noble one, the corrosion rate of the latter is higher and that of the former is lower than when the two materials are separated. A necessary condition for galvanic corrosion is that there is an electrolytic connection between the two metals. One of the most important factors in galvanic corrosion is the area ratio between the more noble and less noble material. The larger this ratio is, the more intense is the galvanic corrosion. Next type is thermogalvanic corrosion. A temperature gradient in a material exposed to a corrosive environment may cause a galvanic element and consequently lead to a form of corrosion called as thermogalvanic corrosion. The hottest parts will normally act as dominating anodes with increased corrosion, while the colder parts are cathodic sheets which are protected. It must be taken into account that the temperature may affect both the anodic and cathodic reactions. Crevice or deposit corrosion. This is localized corrosion concentrated in crevices or under dense deposits of corrosion products, dirt, sand, leaves, and marine foliage. The crevice must be wide enough for liquid to penetrate into it, but as a consequence of the mechanism, it must also be narrow. A condition for the corrosion to start is that the liquid in the crevice is depleted of oxygen. The liquid in the crevice must be stagnant and the diffusion of the oxygen into the crevice must be slower than the consumption of O2 in the crevice. Next, pitting corrosion. Pitting corrosion occurs on more or less passivated metals and alloys in corrosive media containing chloride, bromide, iodide, or perchlorate ions. Pitting potential depends on factors like material concentrations of aggressive species, pH and temperature. The number and size of pits may vary greatly between different materials and from one area region to another on a given material. Stainless steels have relatively high resistance against pit initiation and therefore usually only few pits are formed. However, when a pit on SS has been formed, it may grow rapidly and the attack becomes serious. 6. Intergranular corrosion is localized attack on or at the grain boundaries with little or no attack on the other parts of surface. This is dangerous from corrosion. A special form of corrosion is aluminum alloys is exfoliation corrosion, which usually propagates along the grain boundaries parallel to the surface. It is most familiar in aluminum, copper, magnesium alloys. 7. Selective corrosion. Selective corrosion occurs in alloys where one element is less noble than the other. The less noble element is removed from the alloy, leaving a porous material of little strength and ductility. The most common example of SC is selective corrosion in brass, where zinc is dissolved and copper is left in place. Graphitizing of grey cast iron is another example of selective corrosion, in which iron is dissolved and graphite is left on material. Next, erosion corrosion. When there is relative movement between the corrosion medium and the metal surface is often affected by mechanical forces, leading to increased corrosion denoted erosion corrosion. Erosion corrosion is promoted by high velocities, liquid, gas, and liquid particle mixtures and geometrical elements in the flow system, which lead to disturbance, turbulence, and impingement are the example of erosion corrosion. Cavitation corrosion. Cavitation corrosion, or rather called cavitation erosion. It takes place in a wide range of equipment such as water turbines, pumps, propellers on the external side. Cavitation damage is characterized by deep, narrow pits normal to the surface, localized close to each other, or grown together over smaller or larger areas. The edges of the pits are usually very sharp. 10. Stress corrosion, hydrogen assisted cracking. Stress corrosion. Cracking can be defined as crack formation and growth as a result of simultaneous static tensile stresses and corrosion. The tensile stresses may be due to external loading, centrifugal forces, or temperature differences, or they may be residual stresses caused by cold working, welding, or heat treatment. The crack's orientation is normal to the tensile stresses, may grow intergranularly or transgranularly, and may be more or less branch. If they are not detected in time, they will lead to rapid unstable fractures. Thank you.